Hi, my name is Charles Kelly. Welcome to The Lancer Life. This is part 2 of our flavor profiles, cigar basics, and this one is going to be entitled, If the Spice is Right. So, how many times have we looked through our favorite cigar magazine or online reviewer and they tell us that one of the flavor profiles on a specific cigar is spice? What the heck does that tell us? This is my spice cabinet. Do you see that? There are so many different types of spice out there that to say that a cigar tastes or has spice in it would be the same thing as saying that it tastes like meat, right? How many different kinds of meat are there? So what I'm going to do is give you a couple examples of cigars. I'm going to give you some very, very specific spice that I tasted in those particular blends when I smoked it. And keep in mind, I'm going to say this throughout this series: whatever a cigar tastes like to you is what it tastes like. But I encourage you to sit down with some notes, get the cigar, smoke it, and see if you can catch those flavors. Some flavors are going to be more nuanced than others. Some are going to be pow, just going to hit you and smack you right upside the head. So you got to be careful when you listen to these profiles. But if you don't taste it, it's not there. Now, we all look at cooking channels now. We've kind of grown up in this country over the past 20 years in terms of our culinary delights. We're no longer just meat and potatoes people. We like a lot of spice. We're more educated on different spices and things like that with our food. We have more preferences and we keep spices on hand. So what I'm going to do is sit down here and give you some very specific on some cigars. Because it's important that we know not just spice, but what kind of spice it is that we're tasting in a cigar. So, different types of spices we taste: cardamom, cinnamon, nutmeg, whatever there is out there. Star anise. There's literally almost an endless amount of different spices that we enjoy in our meal and therefore will enjoy in our cigars. The key is being able to pick up on that subtleness, that nuance of the flavor. So I'm going to start with one of my favorite. One of the reasons why I love Cuban cigars is because of one particular spice that they all seem to have, and that's cumin. Cumin is one of those dominant flavors that I think of when I'm enjoying a Cuban cigar. The Montecristo No. 2 is my choice for a cigar. The Cuban Montecristo No. 2, I might add, is the cigar that I think about when I'm talking about cumin. Now, if you look at the label on this, you'll see it's one of the older labels. It's not one of the newer raised gold or copper or bronze labels. This is an older Montecristo. I assure you this is not a fake. If you take a look at this, you'll see how the cap is done. It's a triple cap. These are typical of Cuban cigars, well constructed. I won't show you the back of the label because I had to put the label back on, because one of the ways to get your cigars into the United States pre-lifting of the embargo was you take the label off. So in order to get the label on there, I had to use some cornstarch and water, and it's not a real pretty job, let's say. Moving on. The other cigar flavor that I like a lot is cinnamon. You're going to find cinnamon in a lot of cigars. My cinnamon cigar selection is going to be the kristoff-corojo-limitada. This is a wonderful cigar, and one of the things that I am finding the more I smoke is whenever you have these Corojo wrappers, you're going to get spice. This is a wonderful Dominican Republic cigar that's got a lot of other flavors in it. You're going to catch me mentioning this cigar in some of the other videos to come. But this is one that I really enjoy for that cinnamon flavor. Next up is nutmeg. Where's my nutmeg? Nutmeg. Fleur de las Antilles, when they mention that pepin spice, to me that spice that they're talking about is nutmeg. Again, it's a very subtle flavor that gets back there, tantalizes the tongue, and is a very delightful cigar. The Fleur de las Antilles is another cigar that you will see in a number of my videos when I sit down and I share with you about different spice profiles. You're beginning to notice kind of a trend. I like torpedoes. Next up is cookie spice. Now, this is the Epic Corojo-limitada, a wonderful Dominican cigar as well. Last year, 2016, when I smoked this early on, one of my favorite cigars of 2016, something I had never tasted before. Beautiful cigar, great burn. Look on the blog for all the details on the spice, on the cigar. I'm talking about how it relates to spice. Do you remember growing up as a kid around Halloween and remember those spice wafers that came in the orange box with the black writing? It was those little round cookies that tasted like cookie spice. I don't know what was in those things. I should have done my homework before I did the video, but it was like ginger and nutmeg and cinnamon. When I smoke this cigar and close my eyes, this takes me back to being 8 years old in my little plastic Halloween costume with the little plastic mask with the staple and the string that's going around at the Halloween parties at the elementary school or at my home, bobbing for apples. Cookie spice, okay? So that is a whole different type of flavor. And really, when you think about cookie spice, it's a blend of multiple spices. Another cigar, and I don't have one here today, that is 5 spice, Chinese 5 spice. If any of you have ever had 5 spice is great instead of using cinnamon and nutmeg for French toast. Get some Chinese 5 spice and put that on your French toast. Blow your mind. 5 spice is a combination of multiple spices. So think about this for Chinese 5 spice. Star anise, cloves, cinnamon, pepper, fennel seed, and Szechuan pepper. Love Szechuan pepper. It's bright and very floral. Those 5 spices make up Chinese 5 spice. And the Gurkha Cellar Reserve, aged 15 years, has all of that blends of spice. So when I hear spice from a cigar and I taste that, I can literally pinpoint the flavor profile to specific spice. Chinese 5 spice. So I encourage you, when you hear your cigar taste like spice, smoke it. And try to narrow down the specific spice flavors that you like, that you get in that very nuanced manner, and further develop your palate. Develop your palate, but seek out flavors that you like. And the next time somebody tells you that the cigar tastes like spice, ask them which one, and don't just say spice. Or smoke for yourself and you make that determination. As I said before, don't let anybody tell you what a cigar tastes like. Find what you like, and that's it for the day. So, is the spice right for you? This is Charles Kelly from The Lancer Life. Thank you for joining. Please subscribe to my channel. If you want to see reviews on some of these cigars, because I have reviewed some of these cigars, why don't you hop over to www.thelancerlife cigar.com. You can see the full web address in the comments below. Appreciate you joining. Thanks for following. God bless. Godspeed. Stay smoky. Peace.